marry someone, you should want to build with them and have children with them and build a legacy for your children. And you get what I'm saying? You just don't want to, like, when I get married, I just don't want to be married and having kids. I want to build
something goals where we growing.
You can't just get into something and think, we just married. No. What are we going to do? What is it that we're going to hand off to our children so we can, so they can keep moving, so they can build on. You can, like, I just don't understand.
I feel that.
That's what I mean by bringing something to the table. If I marry you, what type of wife can you help my vision? Can you hold me down? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of stuff that goes into it that women do not think about today. They just think about having kids and being married. That's not it.
So you saying a lot of these women are walking around with a spirit of Ruth.
Ruth had that hustle. Ruth had that hustle game in her. Her and Naomi had that hustle game.
You got a Ruth anointed. You know what I'm saying?
I think that a lot of the women that are walking around now have great expectations, but there's nothing great to them to be worth their great expectations. It's really, you got to match what you desire. You're expecting someone to keep you and be able to do all these things, so you should in turn be able to reciprocate the same thing.
That pick me spirit. Pick me.
You just have to your mindset has to always be, what can I offer? And you, like me, I put myself on like a timetable. Okay, by this time, what do I want to have accomplished? And a lot of women, nothing's wrong with just working a 9 to 5. Nothing's wrong with that. But you have to want more for your life. You have to want, a man to look at you and see that, okay, she's not perfect, but she has her stuff together. Like, you can't be so cluttered in your mind where you can't even focus on getting yourself together. You just want to just get a man. That should not be your focus. You need to get yourself together, and when he comes, he will come. And a lot of women are single because they don't have their stuff together. That can be a big factor in the situation. You have to get yourself together. You have to, find out what you want to do. Find out what you want to accomplish in life. And then he might come. But you just can't be so focused on getting a man where you somewhere looking crazy.
And I'm gonna go once Side goes in. I'm gonna go to the phone lines right after you, Side.
When it comes to, and this is for men wanting to date women and women wanting to date, God will give you what you're prepared for. So if you want someone to take care of you, you need to be prepared to take care of somebody else. And when it comes to bringing things to the table, in my opinion, men provide tables. Women should bring something to it. So it's all about, like I said earlier, it's all about being willing to serve that other person. And both people need to have that mindset. If both people don't have that mindset, at some point in time, somebody's going to feel like that there's lack there, and I'm not getting what I'm putting out is not being reciprocated. Point blank, period.
Let me go to the phone. Call you live in the zone. Where you calling from?
I am calling from Aurora, Ohio.
All right, Aurora.
All right. I agree with so much of what you guys are saying, and especially the woman that called and said about the give and take. It is give and take relationships, but I want to propose a question to the gentleman. Now, I see this happening. Now, the woman is not the gold digger, and I'm not saying the man is the gold digger either. But when a woman appears to have it going on, say for instance, she's in ministry, she has a good job, she has her own home, car, whatever, she's well established. But men say they don't want needy women, but when this woman is like this, they get intimidated. So, what do you think about that?
Wow.
You talking about the woman that has everything?
Yeah, they got it now. Now the man has a job. He's established too, but she's established. And they say they don't want needy. You know, they don't want needy. You know, but the woman isn't a needy person. You know, she's willing, such as Bree said, to go out and pay for a meal. You know, put down a tip like the other lady said, or whatever. She can do those things and not really a person that's standing in basically need. But men sometimes fear and are intimidated.
Oh, yeah. That's because every man has an ego.
Okay.
Every man definitely has an ego. It just really is up to his ability to put that ego to the side for the greater good. When you start talking about, especially women, especially in 2013, I think it speaks to your point and also Bree's point, is that 2013, the 2013 woman is educated, is established, has her own house, own car, own money, own finances, own goals. So, you know, that kind of, sometimes it clashes with the classical view of how we look at men and women relationships historically, especially in American society. 60 years ago, it was the man working 2 jobs, hustling, woman at the house, washing the dishes, cooking, cleaning, keeping it, you know, that was our society back then. So there has been a shift, and I mean, a lot of times these men just have not shifted with society and how they look at women, you know, to the fact that, you know, they don't want any woman. But I don't say this, a man that says that he doesn't want a needy woman, but that is intimidated by a woman that's established, he's confused. You know, I think he's confused now. You know, there are men that will say, look, I don't need my woman doing nothing. I don't need her doing, she ain't got to be doing nothing with John, nothing. But then there's men that say, you know, I want a woman that's driven, a woman that got goals, a woman that has an ambition. So I think most of the time when you see a man that say, I don't want a needy woman, but I'm still intimidated by a woman that earning potential is on my level, even higher. You're basically dealing with a man that's confused, that don't know what he wants, you know. And I think a lot of times, I mean, that's the simple answer. Sometimes a lot of men just don't know what they want. We think we know what we want, but a lot of times we don't. You know, a lot of times that's up to the fact that we mature at a smaller and a slower rate than women. You know, a woman could be 22, 23, and she basically 30. You know what I'm saying? She 22, she basically 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She got a job, she just got a car, she doing all this stuff. But man, we got to get to like 26, 27, 28, you know, until we kind of settle down and start looking at life in a different way.
Well, let me say this to the caller as well, because there are a group of men. You know, I'm just going to keep it real with you. There's a group of men who seek control, full control. And if you making money, guess what? You oppose a threat to him, to that type of man, because now he's not the one that can snatch your car from you when you start acting crazy or y'all get into an argument. So there are those type of men out there, but you just want to run away from them. There are some men you just need to run away from. You need to figure out which ones are dominating and controlling, that wants to use their means to keep you hostage in the house. Right. You know, and then there are great men out there who are just simply, like how being said, they just simply have an ego issue. They want to make sure that they can take care of everything. What if you get pregnant? You know, right? You can't go back to work. I never want to build our expenses around my wife's income. Because what happens if something happens to her to where she has to come off? Now I'm stuck with this high style of living based upon her income, you know? And so that can be intimidating to a man, because it's our job at the end of the day to provide. And if that house falls due to lack of money, the world does not look at the both of you. They should, but they don't look at the both of you. They look at the man. Man, you got your woman living like that. Man, you got your woman driving that type of car. And that's a lot of pressure on most men.
And it also, too, a lot of times it goes unspoken. You know, I just want to touch this point. But, you know, sometimes there is I especially want to get Bree's take on this and Dale's. Sometimes when some women, not all women, not even most women, but some women, when they've reached a certain status, reach a certain earning potential, a certain social status, you know, sometimes these types of women develop a type of mentality and a type of arrogance to where they start to look at submitting to a man and being his husband, it's a knock against her femininity, or it's a knock against all that she has accomplished. So I think there's also a danger, with that. I think, talking about roles and role reversals, we start to think of that, some of these women, they get successful. To be honest with you, some women get successful and they lose it. They get successful and they're like, oh, what I need a man for? What I need a man for? I got everything I need. You know what I'm saying? All I need from him, is sex. That's all I need, So, it kind of sometimes it kind of backfires. But that's not most women. That's not all women at all. But there's definitely a factor sometimes, that some men, come up against the fact that, okay, I'm established. She's established, but her mentality is in a place to where she's not looking at me as the head of the house. She's looking at me. She's looking at me just, I'm just here. So I like to be around, but I really don't need him, because at any moment I can get up and leave. So sometimes it's a catch-22. Sometimes the catch-22 with that man trying to control that woman, but also some women that are successful and that are well off do that to men as well. They have control men with their finances. I'm just saying, so it's a catch-22.
Those type of women.
We got a caller too. So no, you go ahead, finish, Bree.
Those type of women, I don't want to say I don't respect them, but they would probably always be single, because you can't, once you, I can use an example, like Phaedra off of Housewives of Atlanta. She's a lawyer, and she has, different clients or whatever, but her husband is an ex-con. Like, you cannot, you can't be like that, because you never know, that man may love her, better than any man that she could have got someone that was a doctor, that was a lawyer, what I'm saying, somebody that had as much money as her or more, and he could have beat her behind. Get what I'm saying? So that cannot be a deal breaker. As long as he wants to go somewhere, as long as he have goals and dreams that he's wanting to work towards and he is going to work towards, I don't think it's a problem. But I don't think just because you have a certain amount of money, you should look at a man who don't have as much money as you, and okay, like, well, I can't talk to him because he don't have this in the bank. I think those type of women always stay single.
You know what, though? I think in that case, you see that happen, more so on the woman's side than the men's side. Like, men that have money, will look over the fact of a woman that's struggling financially. And I don't think that's anything quote unquote wrong with it, because you start thinking about how classically we view men and women and husband and wife relationships. The man always been a protector and a provider, but a lot of women, it's just the fact of the matter. I really don't think there's nothing particularly wrong with it, but a lot of women that have reached a status of success, they most of those women most of the time tend to become linked with men that are on quote unquote their level. And I'm not sure that I got a problem with it. And I'm not sure I have a problem with it because of the fact of how we look at men and women relationships. Men, we can have money, that I like you. That I like you. Well, babe, I ain't got this, I don't care, I like you. So, it's interesting.
I just think that when you're getting into a relationship, even though you may be, successful while you're single, you have everything together while you're single, the person who you're getting into the relationship with, there's going to be aspects of them that makes you even more successful, even greater than you are, and vice versa. It shouldn't be about a competition, and if that's the mentality that you have, that's not a good one to have. It's not about who could do more, who could do better. You want to work together to build each other to make the relationship or the one aspect of you two coming together get to that level, especially in regards to marriage. Yes, of course, some may be able to do things better than the other, but it should never be a competition. So if you have that mentality mentality of competing, there is a problem. At the end of the day, when you are getting into a relationship and that developing into marriage, when the word says the two shall become one, anything that you do reflects on your mate as well. So you two should be making each other look good. So if you're in a relationship, try to avoid the whole competing thing.
Right.
Try to stay away from that mentality.
Let me go to the phone line real quick and just call her in before we got to get out of here. Call you live in the zone. Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Elena, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Anyway, I called because, great show, everybody, and it's nice to hear Bree back on the airwaves again. But what I want to ask is, speaking about chivalry being dead and everything, now, I was involved with someone before, and now they proved that chivalry, in fact, was not dead. Like, they did everything to open the car door. They thought it was disrespectful if I did that, and things of that nature. Now, would I be wrong if I held the next guy, whoever came along, to that same standard? Or should I just, let them have their own standards, but, once you like have been treating, with chivalry, like it's kind of hard to not accept it anymore. So like, should I still be holding them to that same standard or no?
Anybody?
I think it just depends. I mean, women have their own set of standards, and if that's what you require to be in a relationship with you, I don't think you should, let go of any of them. Now, if they're just outrageous and just crazy, then yeah, but if it's, something small, then I don't think it's a problem, but, I mean, I think it's just it's you, it's the woman who, gotta decide that.
Bing, anybody?
What was the question? Because my phone actually dropped.
Yeah, my phone cut out as well.
All right, everybody's back. Okay, could you ask it one more time, Elena?
No, I was just saying that I had someone that did like so much chivalry, and they proved that it wasn't dead. Should I hold the next person to that same standard? Since, because once you get used to it, like the opening doors and the things of that nature, it's kind of hard to go back to not having it again. So should I be holding them to that same standard, or should I just let them make their own standard?
I think you need to have your standard. Like Bree just said, you may have gotten exposed to a higher standard, but at the end of the day, it's about what your standard is. Like, you have to know your self-worth, know what you bring to the table, and ask yourself if what I'm expecting from the other person, is that something I can give as well? And you have to live by that standard, and don't compromise that standard that you have. But don't compare either. Like, don't compare the next man to what you've already been with, because that's unfair as well. Don't compare them. Like, well, Jimmy used to blah, 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 and you don't do what Jimmy do. Well, that's not good. You'll probably end up being single. You know what I'm saying? But definitely set your own standards and know what you're worth, and find a man that, meet those requirements for you.
I agree with that.
And I also think that there's a way to really find out what somebody's about when it comes to chivalry. Like, have a conversation, ask questions. That's how you know if somebody, does something or not, instead of just waiting to see if they're going to do it. Because if they tell you they're not going to do it, I mean, there you go right there. There's your answer of what you should, or what you want and what you don't want. And if that's something that you don't, if that's a requirement that you have, I don't want to say requirement, that's a harsh term, but if that's something that you expect, or something that you're used to, then do you. And hey, I put it like this: we all need to accept people for who they are. If you don't want a certain thing, don't deal with a certain thing.
Right.
All right, Bree, you got a question? We're going to let it be the last question of the day. Make sure everybody tonight comes out to see Dr. Medina Pullins right here at New Spirit Bible Center. 7 o'clock start. You want to be here. You do not want to miss the word on tonight. I'm telling you, it's going to be an awesome time in the Lord. Come on out on tonight. Bree, go ahead.
Okay, I keep getting this question. Everybody keep want me to ask it. Why do you guys think good women like bad men?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Lord have mercy. You know, all right, how can I say this? I'll be the first one. There is a nature inside of, I think, all of us that we have to kill first. Let me just say that. But for the people who don't kill that nature, being bad or bad men and women is exciting, you know. And so a lot of times we have spiritual beings trying to date, you know, flesh thinkers, and so you're out here trying to be saved, but you haven't killed your flesh, and your flesh is craving that woman that'll do things that saved and sanctified woman won't do. And women, y'all the same way. You know, sometimes that flesh, it craves something new. You know, someone that's not going to be spitting scriptures at you, but may say something that soothes the flesh. And I think it all boils back down from the spiritual side of it. We have to subdue that flesh, because that's one of the songs on my album called Tonight, and it was talking about temptation, and that's the real thing. Like, my flesh, you know, I was thrown away by my own lust. And a lot of times when I look upon a woman that's a bad woman, I see, man, she gonna do some things, say some things, act a certain way that this Holy Ghost sanctified woman over here is not going to, you know, act. And I have to now subdue my flesh and really know what I want. What do I value, you know, more than the others?
So, Bree, what's your answer to the question?
I don't necessarily think it's the good women wanting necessarily like a bad man. I think women like an edge. They don't want no, I'm not gonna say that, I say me. I don't want no over spiritual type of guy. I want you to have some type of edge to you. I'm not saying I want you to be bad or crazy, but don't be so deep where you take the fun out of the relationship. Because everybody has came from something, and I'm not going to say everybody, but most people have lived a life of sin. And I mean, it's not, people say it's sinful to go to the movies, so when I meet you and you used to go to the movies and you was in your sinning life, don't try to take that away from me now because you want to be holy and sanctified. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you gotta, I think it's more so balanced. Like, I want a guy who's balanced. I don't want you to be so crazy and church-minded that you can't come down and have a little fun sometimes. That's how I look at it. But that's me.
I'm gonna take this one last call and then we'll get out of here, y'all. Call you live in the zone. Where you coming from?
Calling from Connecticut. We're in response to the last question.
All right, Connecticut, go ahead.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I believe, my name is David Washington from Connecticut. I pastor a growing church in Stanford.
Okay.
And
are you a Huskies fan, though, is my question.
I am a Huskies fan.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I believe that good girls like bad boys, and I'll tell you why. While I was in high school, I've been preaching since I was 12 years old. And in high school, all the young ladies I wanted to talk to were going out with the saggers and the hats turned backwards and the gangbangers in school, and I was stuck with a whole bunch of best friends because I was just a good boy.
Interesting.
All right.
Why y'all laughing?
I thought he was going to say something.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Because I thought he was going to say something else, and everybody was just like, and it just got kind of real quiet.
Okay, all right.
The good girls are just like bad boys.
Are you want to?
I mean, I guess it's like Bree said, you want balance. You don't want somebody that's all the way one way, whatever end of the spectrum they're going. So I guess some of the good girls tend to be, or it appears that they tend to be drawn to the quote-unquote bad guy because it brings something different. It's out there. It's not so, clear-cut.
Okay,
girls that like bad.
So why are those same girls like looking for guys like me now?
So it was in high school.
16 years. So all of a sudden, I'm noticeable.
No, because when I was in high school, I wasn't trying to, I don't know, it's high school. So, I mean, your mindset in high school is totally different when you get older, because my mindset totally changed. I didn't want, when I was in high school, I didn't want the guy who was, like the good guy. I didn't. I mean, that's just high school. But now, I mean, I want a certain type of guy. My mindset changed, so you can't really. I don't think it's more so like the good girl and the bad. I think it's just a mindset. I mean, you're young.
Well,
when you're younger, you don't. I mean, I don't know.
I guess another thing too is curiosity. Like you say, when you're in church and you're younger, there's certain things you can and cannot do. So this bad boy brings about this whole new world that you may not be exposed to. So you then get drawn to this excitement. Whereas when you get older, you experience a few more things and you recognize, those different mentalities that you had cannot carry forward into your adult years. So I think there's a little see that more so in adolescence versus when someone is in a mature level. But there are some mature women that are still, caught up, I guess, in that mindset. But I think for me, at least when I was in high school and saw those things with the good girls being attracted to the boys, the girls that are maybe a little bit more of a sheltered life, they kind of get attracted to the bad boys.
Well, Pastor, we appreciate your call. God bless you, sir. Thanks for listening.
Let me debunk them.
All right, I'm gonna let you go there. I'm gonna let Evangelist Dale end with some wisdom for us on the topic as we get right here.
Let me debunk the myth. The statement that good girls like bad boys is a false statement. Good girls don't like bad boys. What we're really talking about is somebody that has the image of a good girl that's really not a good girl. It's liking something that appeals to her true identity and her true character.
So it's the Whitney Bobby thing.
Opposites do not attract.
Yeah, they do in some cases.
No.
Yeah, they do. No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so you said they see something that's in them. They see something in them and the other.
They see some in them. They see some in them that it's in them. They look like they have all the imagery of a good person. She talks like a good girl. She acts like a good girl. She does all the things publicly in the face of people that a good girl would do. But internally, she's really not good. Internally, she trying to club all night long. You know what I'm saying? So,
you get in trouble. You lost about 2,000 Twitter followers.
I'm gonna give you one example of that damn talk. Whitney Houston in a store.
I knew you were gonna say that. You've been on that ever since you've been jaded ever since that Whitney Houston interview thing.
But I'm saying she had all the imagery of a good girl. And when folks was shot with Bobby corrupt, I told folks, Bobby ain't corrupt. Whitney, that's what she always wanted to do. Good girls, opposites are not attractive in that extreme. You might have some things that might be different about people. When you start talking about extreme opposites and extreme negative and extreme positive, it don't attract like that. That means that there's another side of you that's drawn to who this person is. If you like hanging with this clown, all you want to do is sell drugs, shoot guns in the air, beat up people, ain't trying to do nothing with his life. That's the point. Just be honest with yourself. Okay, that's part of me that likes that.
Okay, let me ask you a question before she talks then. Okay, you can't say the opposites don't attract because if you have two of the same people, where they gonna go? Like you have to have someone. Okay, just like if a car stop, right? And you know how you get the little things and you put the things on the back. I don't know exactly how I keep calling it. You put the things on the battery. So if you put a negative and a negative together, what is it gonna do?
Listen to me.
Preach, scientist. Preach, Dr. Bree.
You put a negative and a negative together, what is it gonna do?
Preach.
Hold on. You put a negative and a negative together, but I'm telling you this. If you sit up there and you find a person in safety and dating a clown, you a clown.
No, it ain't that.
Hey, come on. Hey, let me say this though. Wait. It's a difference between.
You said opposites do not attract.
It's a different thing.
A negative and a negative together. What is it gonna do?
I'm not talking about differences. I'm talking about opposites. It's a different. I don't see that. You got people with different personalities attract all the time. I'm not talking about different personalities. I might be outgoing. She might not be outgoing. We talking about extreme opposites. Good girl, bad boy. We ain't talking about somebody that's different. We talking about extremes. That's
it is different. You can't say that though. Like if